Eat Lux your way with the Lux Cravings boxes from Taco Bell. There's the classic $5 box, the indulgent $7 box, and a whole new obsession in the $9 box, the Flamin' Hot Grilled Cheese Burrito. Try the Lux Cravings boxes at Taco Bell today.
How's your day going?
Going good. Thank you. Yes.
Check out the all-new Blue and Orange store at the Boise State Hall of Fame. The Blue and Orange store has your best game day gear. We're talking jerseys, hats, bumper stickers, car flags, more than 4,000 hats on the hat wall. If you want the best Boise State gear, make sure you check out the Blue and Orange store online at theblueandorangestore.com or the all-new Blue and Orange store down at the Boise State Allen Noble Hall of Fame.
As sports fans, we may cheer for different teams, but there's one thing that we can all agree on. We want the game to be big. And with 3 levels, 30 cabanas, a 143-foot screen, 6 clean pools, and endless cold drinks, it doesn't get any bigger or any better than Stadium Swim in Las Vegas. All sports, all seasons. It's more than a pool deck. Stadium Swim. It's the only thing like it in the world.
Really, guys?
What? Jackson's always has those game ready.
Let's go!
Hey Bronco Nation, this is Kenzie with Boise State Soccer. When I moved to Boise, I thought I was ready for anything. Training, no problem. New teammates, bring it on. But driving on snow and ice, yeah, that was a whole new challenge. Here in Boise, winters mean real weather. That's why I'm so grateful for my Ford all-wheel drive. If you're new to Boise or just ready for a safer winter, head to Lithia Ford of Boise. Come check out the full lineup of all-wheel drive vehicles at Lithia Ford of Boise. And when you buy here, you're supporting Boise State athletics. Come see us at Lithia Ford of Boise, where Ford begins in Idaho.
Find your sun with Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea. Made with real iced tea and real vodka. Cold, refreshing, and made for moments like these all year long. Let the good times cruise with Sun Cruiser.
When I want Boise State to win, I trust Coach Rice to lead the Broncos to victory.
And when I want the best painting and garage floor coating, I trust rowpaint.com to get that job done right.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news, all from the top Boise State insiders. Bronco Nation News Live is the only daily show that talks nothing but Boise State sports. And we do it with you. Give us your comments or questions in the ICCU YouTube chat. Or leave us a voicemail on the Signature Roofing voice inbox at speakpipe.com/BNN. BNN broadcasts come from the Sun Cruiser Studios. Sunny days call for Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea. Made with real iced tea and real vodka. It's refreshingly smooth and easy to drink. Crack open a Sun Cruiser and let the good times cruise. Bronco Nation News is presented by our title sponsor, Lithia Ford of Boise, and our major sponsors, Taco Bell, Idaho Central Credit Union, RopePaint.com, and the Blue and Orange Store. At Lithia Ford of Boise, we're proud to stand with Boise State athletics. Through our NIL marketing partnerships, we're investing in the future of student athletes. Lithia Ford of Boise, here to get you there, wherever that may be. Lithia Ford of Boise, where Ford begins in Idaho. Broadcasting from the Sun Cruiser Studios, here's BJ Rains with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
doing, Bronco Nation? Welcome on into a live edition of Bronco Nation News Live here at BroncoNationNews.com. My name is BJ Rains. How we doing? Happy Monday. Super Bowl in the books. Boise State, 2 more Super Bowl champions. DeMarcus Lawrence had a tackle. George Holani, 2 rushes and a reception, and both of them Super Bowl champions. Saw DeMarcus Lawrence on SVP with Scott Van Pelt on SportsCenter. Cool post-game interview for him. So what a cool story as they add to the list of Super Bowl champions from Boise State as DeMarcus Lawrence plays a long time with the Cowboys, can't get it done, goes to the Seahawks and wins a Super Bowl. Thought the game was kind of boring. Didn't think it was particularly great of a game. I had some folks over, had a fun time, great Super Bowl party at the house, but the game itself wasn't anything to write home about. I was on the Seahawks, so won a little money, had some fun, and happy for Jay Tust, happy for Johnny Ballgame, happy for Ryan Turner, happy for all Joe Nickel, all my friends, all the people out there, all of you watching this that are Seahawk fans. Congratulations to you, Seattle Seahawks Super Bowl champions. So cool night for you guys. Enjoy it, soak it in. I'm going to have to go back and rewatch the halftime show, the commercials. There was one good Dunkin' Donuts commercial that everybody was laughing about, but for the most part, when you're hosting a Super Bowl party, you're talking to folks and making your way around and didn't get a chance to really watch a lot of the commercials and things, and the music was at halftime wasn't super loud. Yeah, Joey and Lauren Jenkins, happy for the Jenkins as well. I forgot them. You were at the game. You were there. Awesome. Congrats. That's really cool. I knew I shouldn't have named people individually because I was going to miss a lot of them. There's a lot more I'm probably forgetting, but Seattle Seahawks Super Bowl champions. And, back when I lived in St. Louis, I was middle school, I think middle school age, high school age when the Rams won the Super Bowl and then got back there. And it was a pretty cool experience. And I remember just that feeling going to school the next day. We stayed up late and bought the championship T-shirts at the department store and stood in line till midnight or whatever that night to get them, and then wore them to school proudly the next day. And so I know all the kids in Seattle and all of all of you that are Seahawk fans and stuff, just kind of soaking this in on a Monday morning. It's pretty cool. There's not a lot better in sports than your team winning a championship, and for the Seattle Seahawks, pretty cool. And congrats to all of you. And the Boise State connection, obviously, again, George Holani and DeMarcus Lawrence. And I believe that makes the list 9 now. Mike Prater told us last week, I believe it was 7. You guys can tell me if I'm wrong, but I believe now 9 former Boise State players have gone on to win a Super Bowl. And so, that may seem like a low number. I don't know what you would think, but for, a school like Boise State to put enough players in the NFL that 9 can win a Super Bowl, I think that's pretty darn cool. I think the number's 9. Excuse me. Apologize if I was wrong. But so we got the Super Bowl we can talk about. We're going to talk a lot of Boise State basketball as well. I am back from the pit. 36 hours ago, we're at halftime down at the pit watching just a tremendous game. Boise State, what a comeback. And yes, Leon Rice picked the Seahawks. He liked the Seahawks as well in that game. So Coach Rice had a heck of a weekend as Boise State goes to the pit, gets just an epic win. We'll hear from Drew Fielder and look back at that win as well and talk plenty of basketball. And then Justin Shults, Boise State softball coach, going to join us a little later as well. Softball team goes 4-2 and had a big win against Ole Miss as part of their opening weekend, beat a top 15 team, highest ranked win in program history. So had somebody in the chat last week say we never talk anything but basketball, men's sports and men's basketball and football, which just isn't true here. It does primarily dominate, but we had Gordy Presnello talking women's basketball last week. We're going to have a women's player on hopefully this week. We've got softball talk today as well. So I get it. Viewership and things. We are going to predominantly talk men's men's basketball and football, but there's some great things going on in some of the other Olympic sports and other sports and women's sports, and they deserve some love as well. And so shout out, by the way, so we will talk softball a little later in the show with Coach Shults. Shout out to the women's basketball team as well. They win their 9th game in a row. This was the first real true test too. They're playing a team they had already lost to on the road, a team that was pretty high up in the standings, and they almost beat them by 30. I mean, it was an unbelievable game on Saturday afternoon. The Boise State women taking down New Mexico. That's now 9 wins in a row for Gordy Presnell, their longest regular season in conference winning streak in like almost 20 years or something. So shout out to the women's team. And we're going to have to get out there here and cover one of their games pretty soon. Well, like I said, we're going to try to get a player on this week. But big win for the Boise State women. They've won 9 in a row. I think they're 19-5 on the season now, so shout out to them. But got back from the pit on about 3 hours of sleep to host the Super Bowl party on Sunday, and it was you had to power through yesterday, but it was quite early wake up call about 4:50 there at the Albuquerque hotel to get back yesterday. Change planes in Phoenix. Nice view of the waste management. We flew right over the 16th hole. It was pretty cool. I wonder if I could pull it up on my phone real quick and show you guys. But it was pretty cool to come in and see the 16th hole. And if you know, you know, I guess, in terms of what that looks like. And that was a pretty cool to be able to see that and made it back to Boise in time for all the festivities yesterday. And let's see here if we can pull this off. Not a very good shot, but I took this from my flight landing in the Phoenix airport of the 16th hole there at the Waste Management. So saw that, and then was able to get back to Boise yesterday. But what a game. It was worth it. The lack of sleep, being at the pit on Saturday night to see Boise State take down New Mexico. Just another classic game in the series, and it's pretty funny. The Vlads of the world, the APs of the world, some of these folks that just, they don't show up anymore. It's funny. They were after that UNLV game. You go to that post game chat, and even some of you in here at least have come back that, had some negative things to say, and rightfully so. And I'm not taking a victory lap or anything. I mean, it was a rough time. They were had lost 4 in a row. This team was spiraling out of control. People were talking buyouts and do we need to get rid of Leon Rice? And we've reached our ceiling and all this kind of stuff. And you know what, big picture wise, if you still want to say that the season's been a disappointment and they're not where they want to be, and you want to question the coaching and all that, that's fine. I'll listen to the argument. To this point, the season has been disappointing overall, yes. But I would think if they go on some run and win the conference tournament and win their first March Madness game, no one would care they lost 4 in a row and had a D2 loss to start the season. So that's why I usually just let's let the season play out. It's been bad. It had been bad. It hadn't been going great, but there's still a lot of games left. And I think prisoner of the moment, people just say, oh, they're going to win 2 games the rest of the season, 3 games, no more than 3 games the rest of the season. That's it. And somebody after the loss, I think to Nevada maybe, or whoever it was, saying, oh, they're not even going to finish 500 this season. Only 3 wins in conference play. And after the UNLV game, I mean, there were folks here on the chat the next day saying this team might win 2 or 3 more games the rest of the season. And I truly believe some of you were being serious about that. They're now 6-1 since I think it was our buddy Kurt Fuller. Love you, Kurt, but I think he was one saying they're going to win 2 or 3 games the rest of the season. And part of that was just look at the schedule. They're playing San Jose. They're playing Wyoming. They're playing Air Force. Some of these teams come. I mean, it just it is what it is. They had some winnable games on the schedule. Well, then you throw in some of the other games, going to, getting the Nevada win. And now I think going to New Mexico and getting that win, I think some of, that's okay. All right. You can't really say they were just beating up on bad teams anymore. They just took down a top 50 net, a top 50 Ken Pom team on the road. I mean, you want to go on the road to a number 47th ranked Ken Pom team. I would have to look in terms of the Leon Rice era. But I don't know how many times they did that. I mean, I'm just looking at last year's real quick. Last year's to beat a team that was better than 41 on the road or 47. They didn't do it last year. And I'll go back. I'm not going to, this would be like Mike Francesa radio if I just go back all these seasons live here and count them out for you. But the last time they got a win, I guess they won at New Mexico, who finished 29 2 years ago in 2024. That win with Max Rice scoring 35. And then they had a win at Nevada, who was 40th. But the point is, it only happens like once or twice a season, if that. And so this was one of the better wins in the Leon Rice era, probably statistically, beating a top 50, Ken Pom team. They were 41, I think, going into the game. So I'd have to do a little research on that. But in that environment, in that atmosphere, It was a pretty cool thing. And I have the video here. Someone's talking about Leon Rice getting booed. I'll go ahead and put this in the system because not only did he get booed, but he enjoyed every second of it. I'll put this in the system here and play this because I was about it after the game. He soaked it in. He soaked it in. He walked in. Now the caption I tried to put on the screen, it said Leon Rice, and then it said enjoys being booed as the caption. And I don't know if that's something they do for all the coaches that walk in, the opposing coaches, or that was something just for Leon, but they had enjoys being booed as the caption. And then Leon Rice kind of does a little pump like this. And then as he's walking towards the students, he gave them a little pump as well. Here was the scene as Leon Rice entered a near sellout right before tip-off at the pit. There he is, the fist pump, the double fist pump. There's some of the players enjoying it. Here he is, and if you look, he gives a little pump to the student section, looks at them, gives them a little acknowledgement, Snake and those guys. So, by the way, those were the only seats open in the entire arena. They were the Boise State seats. No Boise State players or parents, I guess, went. But look at Coach Rice right there. I got the backside of him there because he's on the thing, but enjoys being booed. And there's Coach Rice celebrating in the moment his final time at the pit. He gets a nice boo, but he said on the post-game show it was kind of like an acknowledgement for him of all the years of oh, you hear that guy, by the way? Let's play that again. Listen to this guy behind me yelling Crybaby Rice. He says good riddance, Crybaby Rice. I hope you guys heard that there. Yeah, that guy was there was people sit, like I said, they were right behind me and right in front of me, and the guys right behind me the whole game. They never saw a call they agreed with. They were actually getting on their own players for not rebounding at times and doing some other things. And it was quite the experience, I guess, to be right in the middle. The way they put the media there at the pit, you're like in the crowd with these people. So they were right behind me. There were folks in front. By the way, pretty cool moment, or not cool moment, but they do this every game. But I guess there was a fight once at the pit. And so Michael Buffer came down to the pit and did his little entrance, the Let's Get Ready to Rumble. So they do Let's Get Ready to Rumble to start their games, kind of like Boise State does, but they can actually play Michael Buffer sang the song. Here's the scene pregame. And again, compare this to Extra Mile Arena if you'd like in terms of the crowd. But this was what Boise State was up against prior to tip-off.
The pit here at the University of New Mexico.
Sellout crowd or close to it. There you go. There at the pit. And again, the only open seats were the ones right behind Boise State's basket that they didn't fill. But awesome atmosphere, awesome game there at the pit. I really enjoyed it, and I'm going to miss that place. I know some people might have different thoughts on that, but in terms of if you're a basketball fan, the pit is pretty special. And there's been some epic games in that series. You had another one, and it was a lot of fun to be there. They do a similar lights on, lights off thing that they do at Extra Mile Arena as we're showing you some of the sights and sounds. Again, other than Bob and Abe, there were no media from Boise at this game other than Bronco Nation News. So we can show you the sights and sounds that you're not seeing anywhere else and showing you videos you're not seeing anywhere else. Here's another scene during a timeout.
Lights up. Lights down. Lights up. Lights down. Lights up, lights down, lights up.
Just a really cool scene at the pit. This was during a timeout in the second half as Boise State was trying to make its comeback. Pretty cool scene. And again, was thankful to be there, happy to be there, and it was a really cool experience, and was a nice win for Boise State, a big time win for Boise State. DA, what can you say about him? 33 points. All grandpas of the X would be taking their mid-game nap when this would happen. The pit's pretty cool, and Boise State's going to have another one in their next road game next week at Utah State. And you go from Grand Canyon to New Mexico to Utah State, and it's pretty crazy. And to think they went down there and got a win. I mean, there was some times, guys, I'm sure you were thinking it in the first half. I want to say it was 19-12 at one point. There was another time where the crowd's getting into it. New Mexico had the lead at like 6-7 points, and there, I said it again, 6-7. Wasn't trying to, sorry. But the lead was maybe 7 points, something like that, and you're thinking, okay, this is where New Mexico just blows them out and goes on the run, and it just didn't happen. It just didn't happen. Boise State with a couple huge comebacks, and it was a really nice win for Boise State. There's Snake, by the way. Somebody mentioned Snake.
I got to talk about this. I love you, Coach. I love you, man. I was worried about you. I love you, Coach.
I didn't see you at the...
I know.
There's Coach Rice and Snake. Super fan Snake. We're going to miss this embrace, too. For the last time in the foreseeable future here. Leon Rice, and everybody knows the stories by now. Snake's a super fan. I think he's gone through some hard times down there in New Mexico in terms of finding jobs and stable stuff. And one time he needed a job, I believe, as a dishwasher, and he went to get the job, and the manager hiring him he found out was a Boise State grad. So he called Leon Rice, and Leon Rice talked to the manager of the store and actually helped him get the job. And so it's been a pretty cool, one of those just odd, weird things that only happens in college basketball. But Leon Rice befriending a dude wearing face paint, and was able to help him get a job. And every year Snake shows up and is waiting there when the team pulls off the bus, and that was cool to see one more time. And who knows how many more times we'll see that. But the game itself, Dylan Andrews, incredible game, 33 points, 10 for 10 from the free throw line, and they needed every single one of those. Hit 5 threes, 4 assists, 1 turnover, and he's earning that NIL money now. A lot of people have been calling him bust. We've all said he needed to play better. He's obviously had a really rough stretch. But last couple of games, he had 25 against Nevada in that win, hits the big 3, now 33 in the pit, and carries him to a win. I mean, Dylan Andrews is going to be playing with some extreme confidence here moving forward, and that's a scary thing. But Drew Fielder also had 18 points. We're going to hear from him in a minute. 5 of 10 from 3, hit all of his free throws, 5 rebounds, and he did it again in only 18 minutes. I mean, 18 points in 18 minutes, hits 5 threes. He had that barrage to start the second half, hit a couple quick threes, got the and one on the three-pointer as well. And shout out Pearson Carmichael. I don't know if we mentioned him as much on the post-game show as we should have. In 33 minutes, he starts in place of RJ Keene, who had the flu, and he hits 3 three-pointers. He did bank in that one. That got him going. But 16 points. 16 points for Pearson Carmichael. A nice game for him as he gets inserted into the starting lineup in 33 minutes. Javen Buchanan, 13 points in 34 minutes. He goes 7 of 7 from the free throw line as well. Boise State is a team 26 of 27 from the free throw line. Boise State 26 of 27 from the free throw line. And again, just a huge win. New Mexico, as I said, a couple times looked like they were going to run away with it. Boise State able to, kind of weather the storm. They actually have the lead at halftime when Dylan Andrews hits that short jumper from the baseline, and they go into the break with, let's see. Oh, now he was just giving me a hard time. Okay. Sorry, Kurt. It's all in good fun, but again, it's I put myself out there. I say public things. You guys are allowed to, tell me when I'm wrong and take shots at me and all that. And I have no problem with that when it's all in good fun and stuff. So when it's public, and that's why I like retweeting people on Twitter, and everyone calls me a troll or whatever. And I kind of just laugh, you want to put something out on a public forum, the whole point is for people to see it. So when you're right, you get your praise, and when you're wrong, I don't think it's unfair to kind of have fun with it. And I think, Kurt, you originally said 2, maybe 3 wins. I initially talked you up to 4 eventually, but they've already got 6, I believe, since you said that. So either way, it was, I get it. I mean, in the moment, it didn't look good, but I think if folks just kind of take a deep breath and realize, like, yeah, over the course of a long season, like, these things happen. You go in stretches where there's ups, there's downs. If you've ever watched Boise State basketball, it happens every year where they have a couple bad losses, everyone gives up, and then they go on some run. And if Dylan Andrews is playing like this, I don't know. I don't know how many teams in the Mountain West feel great about playing Boise State right now. Probably not many. But Leon is the best. Let's see. UNM is a fun rival, unlike Reno. That's awesome that Leon helped Snake out with a job. I agree. The defense stepped up every time they had to. That was a nice change to see. Yeah, and one thing I've noticed, by the way, with KenPom, the offense, everybody wanted to get, we're talking about coaches needing to be fired and all this. And I even said it was fair. Tim Duryea, the offense was not good during that streak. We were at Wyoming getting ready for that game. Tim Duryea came on the show. It figured some things out against Colorado State, but the offense was not good. They were like 123rd at KenPom in offensive efficiency. And since January 16th, guys, they're now all the way up to number 63. Boise State, believe it or not, has the 63rd best offense in America. And not even a month ago, they were sitting there at 123rd. They've improved 60 spots in offensive efficiency at KenPom in the last 7 games. Just a remarkable turnaround offensively. And if they had offense like that against Grand Canyon or Utah State, maybe they could have won one of those games, or at least been a little more in the picture there. It's been a pretty crazy turnaround. How about this, guys? Boise State's offense is now ranked higher at KenPom than its defense. I mean, I don't know when the last time was that Boise State could say that, but Boise State has the number 63 offense, and the defense is 68th. The last 3 games, they've given up 86, 87, and 90. So they are, and I know the Nevada game went overtime, but the defense, certainly the last 3 games, has not been great, giving up 86, 87, and 90 the last 3 games. And the result now is Boise State's offense actually ranking higher than its defense at KenPom right now. Let's see. Roller coaster of a season. While it stinks at times, fun of exciting games like a win at the pit. Yep. All the threes, how bad we were on defense. Our wings were getting blown by all night. They were getting to the pit pretty much at ease. They were getting to it's not the pit, the lane. They were driving to the lane pretty much whenever they wanted to. No doubt about that in that game. They were driving to the lane, getting there pretty much with ease, and that was a big problem. Boise State does not have a lot of great on-ball defenders, one-on-one defenders. NATO's good. I think Andrews is solid, but they don't have a lot of guys, and I agree. Those wings were really kind of doing what they wanted, getting to the paint. I mean, I think the points in the paint were like 40-14. Now, Boise State said, we're just not even going to go in the paint. We're just going to shoot threes. You're going to give them to us. And that's kind of New Mexico's defense, let you shoot threes and then pack the paint and rebound. But it kind of backfired on them. They let Drew Fielder shoot, and he made them pay. Speaking of which, Drew Fielder, he spoke with Bronco Nation News after the game.
Hey, man, that was gritty. That was a gritty win. I felt really good. And it feels great to see my guys shine. It feels great to see my point guard shine. DA was killer tonight. Man. Free throw line, cold, the veins, cold as ice. So that was awesome to see.
The atmosphere, man, just the back and forth. And they kept hitting shots. I mean, you never probably felt you had it until the final seconds went off.
No, and that's kind of how our season has been. Opponents' sliders always get turned up at the end of the game. But, hey, man, I love it. I love us being able to land the plane and staying poised, and our veterans being so good, and our young guys stepping up when needed, and it's awesome. It's great to be a part of that.
They were leaving you open, and you kept taking those threes, man. Yeah. And then you got fouled and had the N1. I mean, I know that's a shot you can hit, and know you can hit, but if they're going to keep letting you shoot it, you just want to keep shooting it tonight, or what?
Yeah, that was fun, but, hey, all credits to the coaches and my teammates, man, finding me, putting me in great spots. Coach Duryea, got on my behind a little bit at half, just saying, I'm doing too much. Just shoot the ball. And so it's great to have that, just guys who breathe confidence into you like that. So, man, I'm really happy I was able to, help my team in that way.
I mean, were you guys settling for the three too much in the second half there? I mean, you were making a ton of threes, but what'd you make of, was that just what they were giving you guys, so you just kept taking them? Or, I mean, they dominated you guys points in the paint, but I guess it didn't matter.
I mean, we're really confident shooters, and, we've had ups and downs in our efficiency, and, it kind of happens that way, but we're just so confident, and we know that, the more we draw them out, the more we drag them out, that the better we're going to be able to take advantage of the, close to the basket. So we're going to keep working on it, keep, just sharpening things up. But, I have so much confidence in our guys to be able to hit those shots. So, I mean, that's why we attack from there.
You mentioned DA, man, but he's had an up and down year, and for him these last 2 weeks or 3 weeks, whatever it's been, his resurgence has kind of fueled your guys 6-1 stretch here. How much confidence do you guys have in him, and what's it been like to see him go through some of those struggles and now have 33 points, an iconic game here at the Pit?
Oh my gosh, man, I love it. I love the guy, and we came in the same similar situations. And so, man, it really just fills me with joy to see him just, hitting the shots and being such a leader and just being such a rock for us. And so I got full confidence, and I've had full confidence in him. And like a night like this is not surprising to me about him. Like, this is what I believe he can do every night. I'm more surprised when he doesn't hit shots than when he does. Man, there's 33 nights that it looked easy for him. And man, I'm proud of him. He's been a dog. He's been fighting his butt off. And I see him in the gym every day, and he talks to me, and he's just he's a great point guard for a big man. And he just, I love him. I love the guy to death, and I'm really happy for him.
What in terms of this season, man? It's been up and down. Maybe it hasn't been the season you guys had hoped for, but here you are, 6-1 in your last 7. You now win at the Pit. You just beat Nevada the other day. I mean, there's a lot of games left here. How are you looking at the rest of the season here?
Man, that's basketball, man. There's some really good teams, and sometimes it doesn't go your way. Sometimes it does, but I've been talking about it the whole year. It's our process, and it's going back to practice, and it's just being together in that. And how we approach the game, it gives me full confidence in us to be able to pull games out like this. And, man, sometimes the outcome, like I said, sometimes the outcome goes our way, and sometimes it doesn't. But, man, it feels really good to be able to go back to the gym after a game like this, or after a game where we lose, man, because I'm excited to go back to work.
So how nice is it going to be, though, to get a couple days off maybe here?
Oh, my gosh. Thank God. Thank God. It's about that time of year, so this was really timely for us, and I'm so excited to finish the year.
Well, there he is, Drew Fielder. We appreciate him for joining us. They get 3 days off, by the way. 3 days off for the players. They'll do some individual shooting and drills, but getting a couple days to rest their bodies, and with no game this week until Friday. And they'll get back, I think, Wednesday to get back to work, or Tuesday, get back to work Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, get ready for Friday's game. Hey, more discussion on this game. A lot to still get to here on the show, but do want to thank a couple sponsors that help allow you to watch this program free of charge from YouTube, getting exclusive videos and things from the Pit that you're not getting anywhere else. It's because of these great sponsors, folks. So support the sponsors, and that includes Lithia Ford of Boise, online at lithiafordboise.com, our title sponsor. We will be at Lithia Ford of Boise tomorrow. Lithia Ford of Boise. We'll be there tomorrow at 9 a.m. doing the show. Looking forward to that with Jay Tuss. We'll talk basketball. Going to talk NIL with Jim Sturk and some other things, and excited for that. But thank you to Lithia Ford of Boise, online at lithiafordboise.com. Sun Cruisers were flowing at the Reigns house for the Super Bowl last night. Sun Cruiser, whether it's the iced tea vodka, the lemonade vodka, so many great options, great delicious flavors. Had folks last night telling me they had never tried it before and how much they enjoyed it. So whether you're at a Jackson's, a Ridley's, local gas station, grocery store, pick up a Sun Cruiser today. Hey, Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU.com. You can check them out at Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU.com. And we appreciate their support. They had 7 NIL deals this year. That includes Natalie Pasco on the women's team. Again, 9 wins in a row. Shout out to them. But they're on board as an official sponsor with Learfield and Boise State as well. So good to see that ICCU logo back in the building. And we appreciate Idaho Central Credit Union. Speaking of Jackson's, today's the day. Get out and get that 75-cent fountain drink at Jackson's. The Broncos scored 75 points on Saturday. And that means you get a 75-cent fountain drink from our friends at Jackson's using that Let's Go Rewards app. That's today, 2 days after the game, 75-cent fountain drink, any size. Stop by a Treasure Valley Jackson's location today. Hey, thanks to Taco Bell. They provided some tacos for the Super Bowl party yesterday. I mean, that's just who Stan Nicolason, the Nicolason family, the SON Management Group are. They're great sponsors, great friends, and we really appreciate them. When he heard we were having a Super Bowl party, I'd invited him. He couldn't make it, but he said, I want to help take care of the tacos. And so a big order of tacos shows up, and all the kids and everybody were going crazy. It was a lot of fun. We appreciate Taco Bell. Again, whether it's the crispy chicken strips, the cantina bowls, the breakfast quesadillas, so many great, delicious options at a very, very fair and cheap price as well. So Taco Bell, check out a Treasure Valley Taco Bell location today. And the final major sponsor I want to thank right now here in our first break is the Blue and Orange Store. Online, theblueandorangestore.com. Whether you that Boise State basketball jersey, football jersey, you want that customized, any player, they can do it there at the Allen Noble Hall of Fame location in minutes. And the location there at the Boise Town Square Mall, I think there are over 14,000 hats on the hat wall. As you see, different colors, options, the coaches' sideline apparel, Nike gear. And Friday's game against UNLV is a stripe out. So make sure you check the map, get the right color that you need for your shirt, and stripe out the X on Friday night for what now is a fairly big game against UNLV. You look at the conference standings and UNLV and where Boise State sits in that. And UNLV got a big win on Saturday against Grand Canyon. So UNLV tied with Boise State, 6 losses in the conference standings. This is now a massive game coming up on Friday night for Boise State. If you want to finish in the different spots in the standings, we're talking, can you get to the 4 seed, the 5 seed? Where do you want to see Boise State finish in the standings? And right now, there's Utah State and San Diego State kind of separated themselves. They're tied for first place at 11-2. They have a 2-game lead on everybody else. And then you have a bunch of teams tied with 4 losses. New Mexico, Nevada, and Grand Canyon all have 4 losses. And then Boise State and UNLV are sitting there at 6. So we've said the 5 seed's not a bad place to be. So you just have to have one. You just have to pass one of New Mexico, Nevada, and Grand Canyon. New Mexico might be the team that you pay attention to because you've swept them, so you have the season series with them. If you can just finish tied with them, you would lose a tie to Grand Canyon. Nevada, you'd go to another tiebreaker format since you split with them. But New Mexico is the one team to keep an eye on. If you can finish tied in the standings with New Mexico, you would have the tiebreaker since you swept them in the season series. And New Mexico has to go to Grand Canyon on Wednesday night. That's going to be a tough game. They still play at Fresno. They still play at Nevada. They still play at Utah State. They got San Diego State coming in there. I mean, they got some tough games left for New Mexico. So if you can make up 2 more games on them in the final month of the season here, you could finish in that 5 seed, which would give you Air Force in the opening round of the tournament and put you in a pretty decent spot moving forward. And then, Boise State, yeah, you're at Utah State. That's going to be tough. But you're at Fresno. And at Colorado State to finish the season. But you've already played at New Mexico. You've already played at San Diego. You've already played at Grand Canyon. The kind of big road game left, you only have one of them at Utah State, and you get UNLV at home, San Jose and Wyoming at home, Fresno on the road. I mean, there's still a decent number of winnable games left on the schedule here for Boise State. So if you're looking at this thing going, what can the season finish? What can the record be, to finish the season? There's a lot of winnable games left here for Boise State. I'll just say that. But somebody asked about Friday night, and you would hope a Friday night game that you can get some students to come out for that one. I believe it's an 8:00 start, but it is a Friday night, 8:00. You'd like to think you can get a nice crowd for that one. UNLV 128th at Ken Palm. They are coming off a really nice home win against UNLV. Ken Palm projects this 83-72, 83-72, an 11-point win for Boise State, according to Ken Palm. I don't think anybody on here probably feels like they'd feel great taking Boise State minus 11 in that game, but they're playing good, solid basketball. As Dan said, can't get swept to UNLV. Yeah, that would be a tough one because, I mentioned the tiebreakers. UNLV would have the season sweep on you if you lose to UNLV. So you need to find a way to win that one. Some talk on RJ Keenan here. Think RJ would have slowed Hop down if he was there. The dude wouldn't go away. Yeah, 30 points. That guy was averaging like 8 points in conference play or something, and he had 30. So that was a tough one. But hey, he stepped up for them. But in the end, Boise State got it done, and they were getting beat off the dribble. I mentioned it. Like Pearson Carmichael, Meadow, like some of these guys are solid players overall, but one-on-one defense, when a guy's driving at them is not necessarily their specialty. And so it happened. New Mexico, their game plan was just take guys off the dribble and get to the paint. And they had a 40-14 edge in the paint, and it worked out pretty well for them, aside from the final score. And Boise State gets the win. I know some of you were unhappy that Boise State rolls the ball up the floor. I've seen a couple of comments in there. Why does Boise State allow the defense to roll the ball up the floor? There's a couple of reasons behind it. One of which is what I just said. One-on-one, when the other team, when their guards get going downhill, they're tough for Boise State, some of their defenders, to stop. And so instead of picking them up and letting them blow by them in the backcourt, and then they have 5-on-4, or they have an advantage, or they're getting downhill, if you stay in front of them at half court, you've taken half the court away, and you're still in front of your man defensively. So, and really, you're not taking that much time off the clock. You pick them up, maybe 2 or 3 seconds comes off the clock if you pick them up full court. But we will ask Leon Rice about that later this week when we talk to him. But I think there is some strategy behind it. They're not just letting him dribble the ball up the court to get half a court head start. They feel like if they can stay, they've eliminated half the court, and they're still in front of their man if they let them, start at half court. And so I think that's a big reason why they do that. Michael says, looking great to make a run into the field of 68. That will be an accomplishment. Well, if they win the Mountain West tournament, they'd be in the field of 64. You cannot play in the play-in game if you win your conference tournament from a non 16 seed. So they would actually be in the field of 64. But yes, some talk on here about North Dakota State. We're going to talk softball here in a couple of minutes. I don't really want to dive into this too much, but interesting. I think it's a nice get for the Mountain West. Surprised at how it all came together, and the fact that it's for this season is kind of interesting to me. And they're paying a lot of money to do it. I think I saw $12 million they're paying to the Mountain West to get in, plus $5 million to the NCAA or whatever to go up to FBS level. So $17+ million North Dakota State is putting in to join in football. But I think it's a good move, and I think they're going to be one of the better teams in that league pretty quickly. So cool for them. And I mean, every Boise State moved up at one point. Other schools move up at some point. North Dakota State, it's their time to move up. And again, I'm curious of the timing, why the Mountain West, and why North Dakota State did this now in February when it's going to happen for this season. I find that a little interesting. I wonder if they were talking to the Pac-12. I kind of doubt that, but who knows? But I wonder, the timing of it is a little interesting to me. But good for the Mountain West. That's a nice addition, and I do think like Grand Canyon coming into basketball, that's a really nice addition for them as well. I mean, you look at Grand Canyon and they're like, you'd have been happy taking them in the Pac-12 based on what you've seen in some of these games in that environment. So Mountain West trying to fill. Wasn't a big fan of like Northern Illinois and was it UTEP or some of the other teams they added. Those don't really seem like, those are kind of weird fits for the Mountain West, but they're grasping for straws a little bit, bringing in Hawaii and all sports now and things like that. But Pac-12 schedule, somebody asked about that, by the way, should be in the next couple of weeks, I would assume. But yeah, hoping to get some news on the Pac-12. And they're going to, at some point, you'd think, still need to find some more teams to add themselves, at least on the football side. So a lot still to happen when it comes to realignment and things. But I would expect that Pac-12 schedule to come out in a couple of weeks here, if not sooner. All right, going to talk softball here in a minute. Big weekend for them. But first, I want to thank a couple of great sponsors. Signature Roofing, online at mysignatureroofing.com, speakpipe.com/BNN. We appreciate them. You can leave a voicemail there. And, of course, Signature Roofing, online at mysignatureroofing.com. Whether it's a re-roof, a repair, an estimate, or an inspection, all your roofing needs, hit up the official roofer of BNN. That is Signature Roofing, online at mysignatureroofing.com. Appreciate Matt Boucher Real Estate as well. Now the number one selling real estate team in the Northwest is Matt Boucher and Boucher Real Estate, 252-9877, boucherrealestate.com. He helped us buy and sell our home, and we're very happy and pleased, and can't thank Matt and his team enough for their help. So Boucher Real Estate, if you're looking to someone that's going to fight every dollar for you, that's Matt Boucher and Boucher Real Estate. Hey, Element Fencing, online, elementfencing.com. Brady & Company, 25+ years. Decks, pergolas, fences, cedar, wrought iron, vinyl. They can do it all, folks. All your fencing needs. With the weather being so warm, they're staying really busy right now. If you've got that project you finally want to take care of, Element Fencing. Check them out online, elementfencing.com. ShopRidley's.com is the website for Ridley's Family Markets. Love that Kuno location. They've got Treasure Valley, Magic Valley, State of Idaho, beyond, almost 30 stores in all. Don't go for the big corporate folks. Go local, and that's Ridley's Family Markets. Again, online, ShopRidley's.com. Rowpaint.com, 20% off your winter painting project. Andy Rowe was at the Super Bowl party last night. Always appreciate Andy, and great to have him and his wife Jenny and Wyatt, their little one, there, and had a great time hanging with Andy last night. Rowpaint.com, 20% off those winter painting projects right now at rowpaint.com. And Transportation Compliance Service, TCS, Transportation Compliance Service. If you're looking for a job, perfect time to get into the trucking industry. Transportation Compliance Service, transcompservice.com. And they can do your all the paperwork and everything you need to get into the trucking industry. They are ready to help you out at Transportation Compliance Service online, transcompservice.com. All right, as I mentioned, big weekend for the softball team, biggest win in program history. Coming back, I'm sure it was probably killing Coach Shults, probably flying during the Super Bowl. I don't know, but Coach Shults, nice enough to join us here. Coach, appreciate your time. Nice weekend for the Broncos. How we doing?
Yeah, I appreciate it. And yeah, that's the first Super Bowl in a long time. I have not been able to at least watch a little bit of it, but it seemed like the Seahawks cruised through the whole game. So
yeah, well, you didn't miss much. The game wasn't much of a game, to be honest with you. But you had good reason, Coach, because you went on the road and what a weekend! Kind of an up and down weekend, crazy weekend. First game, you don't score, you're shut out. I think I saw that was the first time ever in an opening game. You follow that up with the biggest win in program history, and then you had to pull another one out late. I mean, just a heck of a weekend. But overall, I think you're probably. I mean, I know Coach wants to win every game, but I would think overall you probably came back pretty pleased.
Yeah, we knew going in game one we got 17 freshmen and sophomores on the roster, a lot of new faces, not a ton of returning starters. But we knew that it was going to be a tough fight against LMU. Their pitcher threw phenomenal. We were a little bit too passive in that game, and we talked about that. We need to go and be the aggressor. Talked about playing a little bit with house money in the Ole Miss game. Everybody talks about the SEC, and it's a very good conference, but we just needed to play better softball after our opener. And so really proud of how they responded. Had 3 freshmen through all 7 innings, which was cool to see, and got to see a triple play for the first time in my coaching career.
How about that? Yeah. I mean, the win, again, I'm lying, Coach, if I say that I, know all the stats and details about all these teams and who's going to be good and all this kind of stuff. But overall, you beat one ranked team and at least one other one that looks pretty darn good as well. I mean, in terms of the level of competition that you did play down there, I mean, how to get 4 wins in the opening weekend, like I said, what's kind of the big picture outlook here?
Yeah, we map it out every year, and you kind of go into a weekend saying, okay, what is the high probability? What's the low probability? And after the LMU loss, which tip our cap to them, they're a very good softball team. I think they went 5-1 on the weekend. You'll see them probably in the top 50 when the RPI come out in a few weeks. But 4-2 is phenomenal. Fullerton's always a borderline top 25 team, and so to lose the first one after beating Ole Miss, we lost to Fullerton 6-5. Late in that game, we kind of gave them that game, 4 unearned runs. But then for us to go 3-0 down the stretch after a long weekend was really, really cool to see. Our team fought all week.
I would assume, Coach, again, I'm looking at Craig Lawson's release here and didn't get a chance to see a lot of these games live. I was following a couple of them on social media, but it sounds like you like to get the offense going maybe a little earlier in games. A lot of your runs came later in the games. I think 37 of your 46 runs in the 5th inning or later. You had a lot of out runs with 2 outs, I believe, 20 runs with 2 outs, which is a nice trait to have, but you'd probably not rather leave it to 2 outs. And I think all 4 of your runs yesterday were with 2 outs as well. So I would assume the offense, you'd like to see that going a little earlier in games.
Yeah, we got to figure out a way to set the table. I think we've got a lot of people who feed off of each other, but we need that catalyst who's going to get on base and start the rallies a little bit quicker. We did score in the first inning of the Sunday game, but then we didn't score for 7 straight innings. So, we're still working out the offense. Like I said, a lot of moving pieces, a young roster, but overall really, really proud of the way they played. And our pitching and defense was really, really good this weekend, which is what you're going to need for a championship caliber team.
By the way, you mentioned Cal State Fullerton. That was the first win for Boise State in 11 tries against them. And then they beat Ole Miss too, I believe, right? So that obviously shows that they are a very solid team as well. You mentioned the pitching and the freshmen. 3 freshman pitchers combined to go 4-0, 1.50 ERA. in 28 innings over the 6-game trip here. You've had some experienced, veteran pitchers, some transfer pitchers in the past that have really carried you, but obviously it looks like, at least in this weekend, it was the young guns that kind of got you going a little bit. Talk about the freshman pitching and the, I guess for folks out there, like your decision to kind of go with them and not try to bring in maybe some more veteran transfer portal pitchers. And obviously you had some confidence in what you had coming in, and they proved that to be true. 1.5 ERA in 28 innings over the weekend.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about it all the time. Yes, we'll go to the portal when we need to, but we really, really believe in how we can recruit out of the high school level. And so we brought 3 talented pitchers in last year. We brought 3 more talented pitchers in this year, and it was really, really fun to watch the maturity of the freshmen this weekend. I thought our sophomores threw well at times as well. Just getting the consistency out of them will be huge moving forward. But I like the 6 pitchers that we have in the circle. Really, really impressive with the offenses that we faced this weekend. For them to keep those hitters off balance was really good to see. And then a lot of big defensive plays Saturday and Sunday.
I know, and again, Justin Shults, our guest, Boise State softball coach. I think last year or the year before, I know, like when you went down to UCF to start the season, that was like your first time getting outside on a field. It was like the game or the day before when you got on the field, like at the first game, you just couldn't practice. The weather's been a little nicer here in Boise. Have you guys been able at least to get out and the outfield grass or do any kind of pop? I mean, were you a little further ahead at all maybe this year? Because it seems like the last couple of weeks I've been throwing live to my kids outside on the field. I mean, I would assume you guys could do the same.
Yeah, we were first time in my 5 years that we've been here. We actually got to scrimmage out on our field in January. So big shout out to Kyle over there at DLP. He's been working his butt off to get us on the field and getting it ready. And so, yeah, we got a little bit more preparation. But we're always used to the adversity in January, and we prep properly and we're ready to go. We talked about it as a team, a little bit of a slow start on the weekend. I think a little bit of that was nerves, but really like the response from our team. It shows a lot of possibilities this year for sure.
And I know just the way it is in Boise, Idaho, playing softball in January and February, you're back on the road pretty much every week here for a while. Talk about this weekend.
Yeah, we head down to San Diego to play a nice slate of teams. We'll go play 5 games. We've got Southern Utah, FDU. We've got Weber State, and then we've got Omaha. So Omaha, I think, won 40-plus games last year, a very solid team. And so I'm excited to get back out in the sunny weather down in San Diego before we head up to Stanford next week, which will be, on paper, is probably our toughest schedule of the year.
I think you guys were picked 4th in the preseason poll, Coach. I know a lot of that's no one really knows. There's transfer portal. There's freshmen that no one's seen. Like I know it's kind of a crapshoot, but what is kind of the outlook for the season here? And for folks that are watching this that are wondering, I mean, is this obviously I know you're excited about this team, but I mean, does this team have a chance to be better than that and be a team that you think can contend for a league title and make a postseason run here?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I think it's a fair ranking for what we lost last year, putting us in the 4th spot for the Mountain West. But I think we have bigger goals than that. This roster, I think, is deeper than we've had in the past as well, which I would probably surprise a lot of people. But in one of our games this weekend, I think we played 21 of our 24 players on roster. And so you'll see a lot of movement. You'll see a lot of passing the ball in the circle. And so I'm excited about the depth of this team. And I think that's going to show really, really well once we get to conference down the stretch.
I'm guessing maybe that was the CSUN game, just guessing. But I mean, I know you scored 17 runs in the 7th inning there, but I believe you were down like 4-1 or something in that game, or 4-0 at some point, like fairly early in that game. Like that was a crazy game to be down and then find a way in the last couple innings to blow them out.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it the night before. Emotional day. We beat Ole Miss, best win in school history, like whatever that means at this point in the season. It's great. Lose a heartbreaker to Fullerton, and it was we were on the field for about 7 hours, and so we talked about it. It was going to be a grind the next day playing CSUN in Portland State, and it took us about 4 innings to get going. But really proud of the way they kept fighting. They stayed in the game. Our pitchers made big pitches. And then a bats got going. And then at some point, it just started to get a lot of freshmen some looks so they could get their feet wet as well.
Jumpin' Idaho in the chat wants to know if there's video of the triple play.
We did not get video of the triple play. I think we were editing the 3-run homer by Kate to put us up. So that play happened quickly. And unfortunately, no play, but first time I've seen it, and it was a phenomenal play.
What was it a grounder to third, and or what was
runners on first and second, laser one hopper to third, she throws to first, and then I think the runner in between first and second thought that it was caught, so she thought she was doubled up. She stopped playing, and we tagged her out. So a little of an unorthodox. I think it was a U5 or 5U 3-4 triple play.
Hey,
something like that.
Triple play. It doesn't matter how it comes.
We'll take it. We'll take it. Yeah.
Coach, we were talking before you came on about the North Dakota State going to the Mountain West, and there was some talk about Pac-12 expansion and all this in the chat. What's the softball outlook for the Pac-12 and next year? And I know you. Maybe this is an unfair question because I know you are. You have a full Mountain West season ahead, but football's already kind of turned the page. A lot of people are looking forward to the Pac-12 next year. What? As you're recruiting and stuff, I mean, is that helping at all? Talking about the Pac-12 and what's the softball version of the Pac-12 going to look like, and what's this mean for the program moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, it always helps. I think the brand of the Pac-12, West Coast kids still know what it means, and so I think it's exciting from a recruiting standpoint. I really like the teams that are coming in with us to the for softball. We're adding Texas State, who's always a really quality softball team. Oregon State's been to World Series recently, so I like the softball teams that are in the Pac-12. Selfishly, I wish we had one more. We're a little bit light in the softball because Washington State, Gonzaga don't have softball. But overall, I really like the 7 teams that are in the conference.
And I guess that's one of the things I mentioned. We'll wait and see in terms of what ends up coming next. By the way, Coach, I mean, I got a massive game tonight. My alma mater is playing number 1 undefeated Arizona. But I mean, tonight's this game. But I'm looking ahead to the Woo Pig Classic coming up here, Coach.
Yeah, the Woo Pig Classic is going to be fun. What stadium I've never been to. My cousin actually plays for the University of Arkansas, so it'll be a little bit of a family reunion out there. But yeah, I'm excited. I've heard great things about the campus and the stadium, and we'll play some really tough teams out there. We got Arkansas, we've got Kansas, your favorite team, twice.
How are they in softball?
They're pretty good. They'll be around they'll be top 50 probably. They've got some good pitching. They had a really good first weekend, so it'll be another challenging weekend. That's part of our philosophy is we don't really want to ever have a weekend that feels like we can just coast through. We want to be able to learn and compete against the best week in and week out.
And someone in the chat here says, let me find the comment here. I'm going to go to a softball game here soon. I think my girlfriend played in high school, would enjoy being at the park again. Yes. Come on out. It's a fun spot. And I believe, Coach, if I'm looking at the schedule correctly here, it would be the Blue Collar Classic. Is that the home opener, California Baptist, on March 5th?
Yes, sir. Yeah, we'll play Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday that week. So a lot of opportunities to come out. Hopefully the weather stays like it was in January and we get some 55 and sunny. And yeah, come on the berm, have some drinks, and watch some really good softball.
Well, hopefully we'll get you on again before that. That's still a couple of weeks away, but you guys have a lot of work to do on the road, a lot of travel, a lot of frequent flyer miles to add up here over the next couple of weeks. But Friday, I believe 12:30. Is there any kind of stream or anything this weekend down there in San Diego?
Yeah, unfortunately not. We don't play any of the host teams, and softball really only streams the host teams in those tournaments. So our next opportunity will be against Stanford in week 3 for people to watch us on a streaming app. We'll play Stanford twice that weekend. And then obviously you mentioned Arkansas will be on some sort of ESPN platform for the Arkansas game.
Nice. Awesome. Well, Coach, really appreciate your time. Nice work starting off the season 4-2, and I look forward to women's basketball's killing it. A lot of great things going outside of football and basketball. And so looking forward to following you guys and getting out there for some games and hopefully having you on again soon and some players as well. And always, I enjoy softball season because it also means it's baseball season for my kids and MLB and everything. And just the weather gets warmer. It's golfing weather. I just always love when softball season starts because, spring's right around the corner here. So congratulations on the weekend. Good luck moving forward, and hopefully we can catch up with you again, Coach.
Awesome. I appreciate the time, BJ. Go Broncos.
Thank you, Coach. There he is, Justin Shults. Always nice enough to join us here on Bronco Nation News. And, awesome weekend for them. Like you said, every coach wants to go undefeated. I get that, but you lose to Fullerton. You come back and beat them in the last game on Sunday. That was a big win, and also had, obviously, the big win over Mississippi. Again, they were ranked 14th, the highest-ranked win, as he said, to date, and hopefully there's more to come. But a nice win there, and they go 4-2 in the Easton Classic out there in California last weekend. So appreciate Coach for jumping on. There's some talk about St. Mary's, Grand Canyon, and some conference realignment chat. I'm not a big fan of St. Mary's coming because honestly, folks, and maybe this is unfair to say, but I just don't know once Randy Bennett leaves what St. Mary's is going to be. I just don't. St. Mary's is a great program right now, but I don't know if they have the facilities. I don't know if they have everything in place that once Randy Bennett leaves, I just don't know. I just don't know if they're going to be able to sustain this success. Maybe it's a gamble we're taking. Maybe you do it because it's for 5 years and you worry about realignment again when it blows up in 5 years. But I don't know if right now, if you can tell me Randy Bennett's going to be there, yes, I'll take St. Mary's in the conference. I just don't know. Once he goes away, I just don't know long-term what the prospects are for St. Mary's in the conference. So I just don't know. That would worry me a little bit. St. Mary's, I just don't know what they're going to be long-term. So I just don't know what that looks like moving forward. And their gym, as someone points out here, hosts only 3,500. So yeah, I right now, this season, you'd love to have them, sure. But I just don't know 3 to 5 years down the road if that's sustainable, if Randy Bennett's not there and what that looks like. And, it was for a long time the Mark Few model. If he ever left, what would Gonzaga be? I think they've proven now that whenever he leaves, they'll be in prime position to keep that going. Grand Canyon, yeah. I mean, that's another interesting one. Again, right now you look at the Mountain West standings, they're, tied for third place, I guess, 8-4, but technically they're in fifth place. They're a half a game back. So they're in fifth place in this conference. And two of the teams ahead of them are going to the Pac-12, Utah State, San Diego State. They would certainly be higher than, lower than Gonzaga. So they'd be, no better than fourth going into the Pac-12. I still think big picture-wise, Boise State probably, if you look at big picture-wise, what the season's going to end up being. Grand Canyon's having a heck of a season because of their home court. They're going to win a lot of games. And certainly if you're trying to build a basketball league, Grand Canyon certainly, but that ship's kind of sailed for right now. The Grand Canyon's going to the Mountain West. That was a nice addition by the Mountain West. I will say going from whatever conference they were in before straight to the Pac-12 might have been a big jump. Now the fact that they're in the Mountain West maybe would make it a little easier, but obviously another one of those programs that doesn't have football. You already have Gonzaga that doesn't have football. They need another team. You heard Coach Shults say it there, as they don't have a couple of softball teams there, but the Pac-12 needs another team because they don't want to have to do this long moving forward where you have to play the same team twice or have this weird weekend at the end where you play a team twice and flex scheduling and all this. Like, they only have 8 football playing members, which was the requirement. You have to have 8, and they got to 8. Do they revisit Memphis? Do they revisit South Florida, Tulane, UConn? I don't know. Do they revisit UNLV at some point? I don't know. Nevada, New Mexico. People are saying New Mexico. If you knew Jason Eck was going to be there for 5 more years and that this program was going to stay on this trajectory, you would 100% say maybe New Mexico makes a little sense. They don't bring a lot from a TV revenue. Certainly from a basketball perspective, you're trying to build a basketball league. If they were making this decision right now instead of a couple years ago, I think New Mexico would have gotten more consideration. But they don't bring a ton from the TV market, and you just don't know what you're getting from the football program with New Mexico. But you do need another team. And there's always ways. It says it can't get them until 2030 because of the buyouts, though. That's not necessarily the case. Any team can get. Yes, it will be tough, but there's ways to get teams. You just pay the buyouts if you have to. Like if Memphis wants to come and you can make it work, you pay the buyout. Like they have to get another team somehow. And I don't know who it is. I don't know how they make it work, but you cannot go 2026 is fine. First year, you make it work. But going into 2027, you have to have another football playing member in this conference, the Pac-12. And so I agree, not a ton of options, but you got to find somebody. You're not gonna be seen as a legitimate big time conference where every year you're having to play somebody in your conference twice because you don't have enough teams in your conference. So they got to get another team before 2027. I hope they don't go back to Texas. I don't want Rice. I don't want North Texas. I don't want any of those Arlington, San Antonio, whatever schools. I know one of them already went to the Mountain West, but I don't like that. The Dallas Baptist for baseball edition was a nice one. They are a premier baseball program. They put guys into the major leagues. They've been to the College World Series. Dallas Baptist is a nice addition. I agree for baseball. Has the money to get New Mexico, and GCU would join for no media payout. Again, GCU would be nice, but they don't help your problem with football. You got to find a football school. James Madison, unpopular take. Geography is a challenge. I'd love James Madison in the Pac-12. Yeah, again, I don't think you're going to the East Coast for a James Madison. Sorry, I just don't. If you're going there for South Florida, if you're going further east for a Memphis, UConn, I mean, I don't know. Could you get UConn to join in all sports? Could you get basketball and get UConn basketball somehow and football? I doubt it. Probably not, but that's the discussion I would have for an East Coast. I'm not sure. Nothing against James Madison, but I'm not sure James Madison is worth making your football teams travel all the way over there, to play them. I don't. Football only could work. Yeah, I could see that. Possibly. I just don't think it makes a lot of sense to unless you're doing some sort of package deal with some other teams on the East Coast and you want to make this national conference. I don't think nothing against James Madison. They've had a heck of a couple of seasons here. I just don't think they're the program that you would all of a sudden be fine having your football team go to the East Coast to play. I just don't. By the way, some basketball news just announced. Just got the email from Jordan Beasley over at Boise State. Dylan Andrews, surprise, surprise, the Old Trapper Mountain West Player of the Week. Second time in his career to be a conference Player of the Week. He did it one time, I believe, while at UCLA. Not a big surprise. Had 25 points. And Drew Fielder got it back on December 15th. So it's the first pair of Boise State teammates to take home the honor in the same season since Chandler Hutchison and Paris Austin. You have to go back to almost a decade, folks, the 2016-2017 season. Think of all the players Boise State's had, Degenhart, Max Rice, whoever, to have two different players earn Mountain West Player of the Week awards in the same season. But Dylan Andrews gets it. Not a surprise. Averaged 29 points, 5 assists the last two games last week, 61.5% from the field, and shot 46.7% from three. Only the third time in his college career, back-to-back 20-point games, and had 58 points last weekend. 25, hit the big shot against Nevada. 33 at the pit. Not a big surprise. Would have been criminal if he didn't get it. But shout out Dylan Andrews, Mountain West Player of the Week. And you go for the Boise State guards, by the way. Mountain West Player of the Week for Boise State guards. This is the full list. Drew Wiley Jr. did it in 2011, 2012. Anthony Drimmick during the 2012-2013 season. Derek Marks did it in 3 different seasons. We just mentioned Paris Austin during the 26-2017 season. Chandler Hutchison did it during the 2 different seasons, 16-17 and 17-18. Derek Alston did it in 19-20 and 2021. And Max Rice, well, these are the guards again. Max Rice, 2022, and then also did it in the 23-24 season. So I don't know if Tyson Degenhart did it his junior year. I'd have to go look at that, but I know someone is saying it did not happen, though, according to these stats. You had Anthony Drimmick and Derek Marks both did it in 2012-2013. Derek Marks and James Webb III did it in the 14-15 season. Paris Austin, Chandler Hutchison did it during the 16-17 season. And now Dylan Andrews and Drew Fielder do it during the 2025-2026 season. So I'll have to confirm it, but I have no reason to believe that the information here from Boise State is wrong. But it doesn't sound like Max Rice and Degenhart ever did it in the same season. Might have done it in 2 different seasons. I don't know. But Max Rice, Tyson Degenhart both won the awards, maybe not during the same season, I guess. But pretty cool. Boise State, again, first time in a decade, 2 different players winning Mountain West Player of the Week award. And that was an obvious one. You knew that Dylan Andrews was going to get that one. If he didn't get it, it had to have been the most amazing crime of all time if he didn't win it Player of the Week this week. So again, we're in the Sun Cruiser studios. Pick up a Sun Cruiser, whether it's the vodka iced teas, the vodka lemonades, Sun Cruiser. Pick up a Sun Cruiser and let the good times cruise. And we appreciate Sun Cruiser, our studio sponsor here at BNN. And, of course, our title sponsor is Lithia Ford of Boise. We're going to be at Lithia Ford of Boise tomorrow Tomorrow we'll be at Lithia Ford of Boise for a special edition. Jay Tust and I at Lithia Ford of Boise tomorrow. And don't forget, 99-cent today out at Jackson. 75 cents. You can get the 99-cent coffee with your Let's Go Rewards app anytime, day or night. But today, you get the 75-cent fountain drink any size using that Let's Go Rewards app. The Broncos got 75 on Saturday. So that means today, you can get that 75-cent fountain drink any size from our friends over at Jackson's. And we appreciate Jackson's, our post-game show sponsor. And if you folks are watching on our post-game show the other night, I had a little bit of a Wi-Fi issue to kick off the show. It was perfect all game, and then something happened right when the game started in the pit. All the crowd leaves, and somehow somebody turned off the Wi-Fi right after the game. I don't know. But luckily, Tom Moser was there to help start the show. And then I came back in time to get Coach Rice and Dylan Andrews on. And then we had I recorded the interview with Drew Fielder, and we played that earlier in this show as well. So appreciate you guys for checking us out today. Again, we'll be at Lithia Ford of Boise tomorrow with Jay Tust. And always appreciate you guys for your support of the show here. Again, we cannot do these free shows. We cannot go to the pit without our sponsors. And I know Idaho Central Credit helps us a big way on the road trip sponsor and the ICCU YouTube chat, so we appreciate them. But all the sponsors you see behind us, all the sponsors we tell you about during the show, we could not make this possible without our sponsors. So support the sponsors, folks, and go subscribe. BroncoNationNews.com. Chris Van Sickle killing it with the recruiting coverage. Nathan Carroll, he's a big Seahawk fan, by the way, as well. I was mentioning all the Seahawk fans earlier. I said I knew I'd forget somebody, and I did. Nathan Carroll. Congrats to Nathan. Big-time Seahawks fan as they win the Super Bowl there. So appreciate all you guys for checking us out. But if you go subscribe, BroncoNationNews.com, Mike Prater, Nathan, Chris, myself, no one's covering Boise State. And I don't say that to brag or gloat, but no one's covering Boise State like we are. We're only one that travels on the road with a team. You're getting analysis and columns from Prater and in-depth stuff from Nathan. And the recruiting coverage is literally unmatched. Chris talks to every single one of these recruits when they commit, when they sign. He knows these guys better than anybody. He knows this roster better than anybody. So you really, if you're looking for one place as a Boise State fan to give those hard-earned dollars for a subscription, we would love for you to check out BroncoNationNews.com, part of the 24/7 sports family, BroncoNationNews.com. Right now, we got a half off an annual subscription deal going for a couple more days, and we'd love to have you check us out. We have free message boards. We have the regular message boards. The VIP board is for paying subscribers, but we do have a free board where you can get in there and chat if you're unable to pay for a subscription to BNN. So appreciate you guys again for checking us out. Go subscribe. Go check out the website. Go keep this discussion going in the message boards. Go support all of our great sponsors. Get that 75-cent fountain drink today. And we'll see you at 9 a.m. tomorrow, live from Lithia Ford of Boise. This is Bronco Nation News Live here at BroncoNationNews.com.